Vibhavari Shaisha Loka Proshaisha Nekrachadi Yota Jiva Vibhavari Shaisha Nekrachadi Jiva Bolo Hare Hare Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva Bolo Hare Hare Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva Bolo Hare Hare Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva Nasimhavamana Srimadutudana Rajendra Nandana Shyama Nasimhavamana Srimadutudana Rajendra Nandana Shyama Bhutana Gatana Kaita Bhajatana Jaya Dasarathi Rama 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 Yashoda Dula Govinda Gopala Vrindavana Purandara Yashoda Dula Govinda Gopala Vrindavana Purandara Gopi Priya Janna Radhika Ramana Bhuvana Sundara Bhora Gopi Priya Janna Radhika Ramana Bhuvana Sundara Bhora Ravana Thakura Makana Tatjara Gopi Jana Vastrahari Ravana Thakura Makana Tatjara Gopi Jana Vastrahari Brajera Kala Gopa Vrinda Kala Chita Hare Sita Hare. Raje Radha Kala Gopa Vrinda Kala Chita Hare Sita Hare. Yogendra Bandana Srinandanandana Prajadana Bhayahari. Yogendra Bandana Srinandanandana Prajadana Bhayahari. Navinane Radha Rupa Manohara Mohana Bhamsi Vihari. Navinane Radha Rupa Manohara Mohana Bhamsi Vihari. Yashodanandana Kampani Sudana Nikunjada Sabinati. Yashodanandana Kampani Sudana Nikunjada Sabinati. Adam Bhakana Rasa Parayana Vrindaviti Nanivati. Adam Bhakana Rasa Parayana Vrindaviti Nanivati. Ananda Vardhana Srimani Chaitanya Sulacharayo Jakatama. Ananda Vardhana Srimani Chaitanya Sulacharayo Jakatama. Gopangana Gana Chita Vinodana Samasta Guna Gana Dama. Gopangana Gana Chita Vinodana Samasta Guna Gana Yamuna Jivana Keli Parayana Manasa Chandra Chakora Yamuna Jivana Keli Parayana Manasa Chandra Chakora Namashudara Go Krishnaya Rakho Bhajana Manamora Namashudara Go Krishnaya Rakho Bhajana Manamora Vibhavari Shahaloka Prabhupada Nidratari Yutta Jiva Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hari Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hari Bolo Hari Bolo Hari Bol Jai Gaur Hari Bol Jai Gaur Hari Where are we reading in the Bhagavatam? Oh, 6th canto. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Namaskrityam Saraswati
परत जेवणाचं जास्त साडी द्या सुंदर सुंदर
We're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter number 5. Entitled Narada Muni cursed by Prajapati Daksha. Section 24.
मस्त सूर कशाला लावता
Prajapati.
मला नाही माहिती
Again,
बोला नाही राजू ते.
पंचजन्य
पाहू शकतो. जे काय त्याचा थोडा किंवा जास्त
the
बोलायला
womb
लागला.
of his wife. Up. Or Panchajani. Jani or Panchajani. Okay. Ajanayat begot Daksha Prajapati Daksha Swavalavan named the Savalakva Sahasrisa, numbering 1,000. One translation: when Prajapati Daksha was lamenting for his lost children, Lord Brahma pacified him with instructions, and therefore Daksha begot 1,000 more children in the womb of his wife Panchajani. This time, his sons were known as the Savalasvas. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Prajapati Daksha was so named because he was very expert in begetting children. The word Daksha means expert. First, he begot 10,000 children in the womb of his wife. And when the children were lost, when the children were lost, when they returned home back to Godhead, he begot another set of children known as the Savalasvas. Prajapati Daksha is very expert in begetting children, and Narada Muni is very expert in delivering all the children, all the conditioned souls back home, back to Godhead. Therefore, the materialistic experts do not agree with the spiritual expert Narada Muni. But this does not mean that Narada Muni will give up his engagement chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Om Jnanatamagandasya Jnanandana Samakaya Chakshurunmilitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Panchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama. So we're hearing about the dealings between Prajapati Daksha and Narada Muni. Prajapati Daksha, one of the sons of Lord Brahma. So as a son of Lord Brahma, he was requested by his father to help him to populate the universe, to fill up the universe with living entities. we know the first sons of Brahma were the four Kumaras, and the four Kumaras they refused their father. When their father requested them in a similar way that they should get married and they should have progeny, they said, no, we don't want to, we're going to stay children forever, and we don't want to ever marry. So Brahma had to accept that because he saw that his four sons, the four Kumaras, wanted to work for self-realization. So although it wasn't what Brahma wanted, he had to accept it. He could not deny that. So Brahma had other sons, and one of them was his Daksha. And Daksha is Prajapati Daksha. So his duty is to help to fill up the universe with procreation. So he was married to this Panchajani, and by his power, he begot 10,000 sons. At the first attempt, he was able to have 10,000 sons. So the sons grew up, and then the father wanted to arrange for them to get married. Also, you know, the father's married, so father wants to see the son also get married. So Daksha wanted to arrange his son's marriage, 10,000 sons, but before the marriage, they must first of all go for purification, because to enter into family life is a big responsibility. You have to be pure. You have to purify yourself before you enter into the family life. Otherwise, it can be very difficult. And we see today, so many marriages are not successful because the husband didn't purify himself before. Before the marriage, the tradition was, Vedic culture was, that the husband should go and do austerities and tapasya and do that for some time and then come back and then get married. Just like in Thailand, young men in Thai families, they will become a Buddhist monk. They will become a Buddhist monk, and they'll go and live in the temple, and they have a ceremony. The young man's coming into the temple, they shave his head, they give him the monk's dress, and he's a monk. He's a Buddha monk, and he will stay there. They'll have a fixed time. Sometimes they'll do it 3 months, sometimes 1 month, sometimes 6 months, sometimes a year. Depends how long they want to do it. But they'll go in, they'll become the monk, and they'll stay in the ashram, and they do the begging like what the Buddhist monks do in Thailand. And then after the period's up, then there's a ceremony where he comes out. He gives up the cloth and he goes back home, and then he'll get married because he's been a monk. So he's learned to control the mind and senses. And that's very important to enter into the family life. You have to be in control of the mind and senses. So Daksha had 10,000 sons, and he told them, you go and do some tapasya, and when you come back, we'll arrange your marriage. So the 10,000 sons had gone, and they'd gone to a holy place, a very holy place. A beautiful big lake was there, and many lotus flowers were blooming, and there were many birds. It was a very sacred, holy place, away from the world, but away from the material world. But it was very, very pure, transcendental place. So the 10,000 sons were there, and they were doing their tapasya, meditating. And Narada Muni saw them, and he thought, oh, very nice young man. They thought they're doing such nice tapasya, nice austere. He said, why they would need to get married? Oh, I thought, why they would go into their family life? But they're already so nice. They're controlling their mind and senses. They don't need to go into family life. So Narada Muni, he preached to them and he talked to them about, not going into the material world, that the material life is not very good. There's a lot of difficulty. He talked to them and he explained to them there's another world. There's a spiritual world. And by Narada Muni's preaching, the 10,000 sons of Daksha, they were convinced. And they said, yes, you're right. We won't go back to our father. And instead, they went back to Godhead. Prabhupada said they went back to God. So Daksha got the news that his 10,000 sons were not coming back. He was very unhappy. Oh no, my 10,000 sons, they've gone off. They're going to become renunciates. They're not going to come home. And he felt very bad. Anyway, by the grace, his father, Brahma, preached to Daksha. Brahma told Daksha, don't worry, he said, have some more children. Then you can have some more children. You're Daksha, you're expert in getting children. So you got 10,000 last time, try again, get some more children and let them become nice householders, grihastas. So Daksha conceived another 1,000. He didn't get 10,000. First time he got 10,000. Second time he only got 1,000. So first it was the Havalashvas. Then it's the Savalashvas. So 1,000, the 10,000 sons become 1,000 sons. So again, when it comes time for marriage, he tells the 1,000 sons, you should go and purify yourself. When you come back, we'll arrange your marriage. So the 1,000 sons all went, and they went to the same place where the 10,000 sons had gone before. And the 1,000 sons went there, and they were doing their meditation and bathing there in the lake and chanting. And Narada Muni came there again, and he saw them, and he thought, wow, some more young men. Oh, nice young men. Why they would need to enter into family life? So Narada Muni talked to them and told them, he said, your brothers, they didn't go back. You should follow your brothers. Be like your brothers. So the 1,000 men, they thought, yeah, why we should go back? So they all went. They went to the spiritual world, back to Godhead. So this is what happened to Daksha's sons. Daksha, of course, very upset. After begetting 10,000 sons and then 1,000 sons, and none of them coming home, they all left home. He was very disappointed. He was very angry. So next time, they say, I won't have sons. Next time, just conceive women. We'll have girls instead of sons. We'll have daughters. Daughters are nice. They don't go away from home. They stay at home with their family. So that's what happened to Daksha. He had daughters after that. So anyway, Prabhupada explains that Daksha was expert. His expertise was in having children. Narada Muni was also expert. He was expert at saving the children from material life. He was expert in bringing them back to God. So that was the expertise of Narada Muni. He was also expert. Different people are expert in different things. So Daksha's expertise was just to have the children. But having the children, having the offspring, that's done by so many creatures. The pigs, they produce so many piglets. You'll see that at one time the pigs, they will produce 10 piglets or more. Even the dogs, they will have 6 puppies at a time. So they're just not such a great business in human life, just to have a lot of children. But Narada Muni's business, that was something very special, because that was to take the people out of the material world and to take them back to Godhead. So Narada Muni was expert at that. And of course, not everybody appreciated that. Daksha, for example, he didn't appreciate it. He blamed Narada Muni, he criticized Narada Muni that you're taking these boys away from the home. You don't know what you're doing. You're going to cause so many problems, taking them away from their home. But Narada Muni, he's convinced. He knows what he's doing. He's the devotee. He's one of the Mahajans, right? He's one of the authorities of devotional service. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu, Komar Kapilo Manu, Pralado Janako Bhishmo, Balir Vyasaki Vayam. So there are 12 authorities in devotional service. It begins with Lord Brahma, Swayambhu Narada. Narada is the second one. He's the son of Brahma. So he's an authority on devotional service. And he's not only in knowledge of devotional service, but he practices it himself. As a devotee, he practices devotional service. He's always chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Wherever he goes, he's chanting the holy name of the Lord. Sometimes here Prabhupada said he's chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Of course, sometimes Narada Muni is more chanting Narayan, Narayan, right? He likes to chant Narayan. Usually they show in the different movies like that, when they're portraying that kind of film about some Narada Muni, they'll show him chanting Narayan, Narayan. But Narada is also devotee of Lord Krishna. Narayan is the expansion of Lord Krishna. So Narada Muni also chants the Hare Krishna mantra. And he likes to go everywhere and deliver people by his chanting. And Lord Krishna is very pleased with him. It is said, Naham tishtani vaikunte yoginam hridayeshu va tatra tishtani narada yatra gayanti madbhakta. Lord Krishna is saying, now I am not in the hearts of the yogis meditating on me. The yogis, they may be meditating on Lord Krishna, but Lord Krishna is not in their hearts. And Lord Krishna is not in Vaikuntha either. Naham tishtani Vaikunte. We think the Lord lives in Vaikuntha, but Krishna said, no, I'm not living in Vaikuntha. And I don't live in the hearts of the yogis who meditate on me. But I live wherever my devotee, like Narad, is chanting my holy name. That is the business of Narada Muni, always chanting the holy name wherever he goes. So because he's always chanting the holy name of the Lord, naturally he's very dear to the Lord. Very, very dear. And he's delivered all these sons. He delivered them from material life. If there was anything wrong in it, then he would be punished. So you may say, well, Daksha cursed him. Isn't that a punishment? Well, Daksha cursed him, but actually it was a blessing for Narada Muni, because Daksha cursed him that you won't be able to stay in one place for more than 3 days. But Narada Muni said, well, that's a blessing for me. I won't have to stay in one place too long. You stay too long in one place, then you start to get comfortable. You start to make, oh, this is my place, this is mine, and I do this here. And so many facilities you want to have for ourselves. Because we're not, because we're, the nature of the body is it likes to be comfortable, and we like to enjoy luxurious conditions. So the body somehow is attracted to these things, and the mind can also be attracted to these things. We know in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna had asked Lord Krishna, why do we do sinful things, even unwilling, as if engaged by force? So Lord Krishna had spoke about Raga Dvaisha Vimuktestu Indriyais Andriya. Lord Krishna spoke about Raga and Dvaisha, attachment and aversion. That attachment and aversion to the rules and regulations of devotional service is not good. We shouldn't be too much attached or too much against the different activities of devotional service. We have to do whatever Krishna is telling us to do. And don't become too much, oh, I like this, oh, I don't like that. You know, you get devotees, they have that tendency, I like that, but I don't like that. Now, I like to go for prasadam, but I don't like to go to Mongol Arti. And some people, I was giving class the other day, we were discussing about how some things we don't like. One of the things people don't like is to go for Harinam. They don't like to go for Harinam Sankirtan. And they think, oh no, that's weird, oh, that's strange, you know, to go out there in the public and to let people see you chanting and sometimes even dancing. We think, oh, that's strange. No, I'm not going to go for Hari. I won't go for Sankirtan. But we find that the people who won't go for Sankirtan, they won't go because people know them. But when they go to a place where they're not known, when they go for Harinam Sankirtan, they enjoy it. They find it very blissful. But when they're in their own village, oh no, I can't go for Harinam here. People will recognize me, they'll see me. So I'm not going to go for Harinam. But when we go foreign country, go to India, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Yeah. So, okay, I mean, I think that's understandable. I think, you know, it's not a big problem. That sometimes you have an identity and you have to protect yourself. Sometimes, you know, if you show yourself as being too religious also, that people will criticize you. Oh, he's so religious. Oh, he's got so many deities. Oh, he's got such big japa beats. Oh, he's so religious. Sometimes we shouldn't, and sometimes said you should hide these things rather than show them. And even they say you should hide your guru. Don't make a big show of presenting your guru to other people, because it's like you're doing a publicity campaign, making propaganda on behalf of your guru. It's not really how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to do that. People do it, but it's not correct. You're not really supposed to do that. What we're supposed to do is, well, we show people Prabhupada. Prabhupada's the guru for everyone, right? Prabhupada's the founder. Bring people to Krishna in that way. But if you make a big show of being religious, in front of people, I have many deities. Oh, I have we're just making. I have so many books. Sometimes you see people have so many books. We've never read them, but they have a lot of books. Yeah, they make a show. So it is not very good. So like that, sometimes we have to be a bit cautious about what we do, how we do it. We like to practice Krishna consciousness. We like to do things. So Narada Muni, he got himself in trouble. Daksha thought, I'm going to curse him. But when Daksha gave the curse, Narada Muni thought, very nice. Because Daksha cursed Narada Muni, you will not be able to stay in any one place for more than 3 days, for more than a short time. You won't be able to stay long in any one place. Narada Muni thought, oh, very good. I won't get entangled in any one place. I can be detached. All right? When you stay a long time in one place, you accumulate. You collect more and more and more things. What? Right? Marichi Prabhu knows about this. You stay in one place and you collect more and more every year. Somehow you get a bit more. Yeah. Even me, as a sannyasi, sometimes people come and they give you this and they give you that, and you get things, you know, and you accumulate. So you have to regularly give things away, you know. You have to make a point, get rid of things, give them away, give them to this, give them to that. And then this way, try to keep yourself simple. Just keep the basic needs. Don't accumulate more than what we need. So Narada Muni was appreciating Daksha's curse. Very nice. I won't have to stay long one place. So sometimes the curse is good, you see, like Nala Kuvera Manigriva, they got cursed by Narada. Sometimes Narada gets cursed, sometimes Narada curses. Just like he cursed Nala Kuvera and Manigriva, become trees. And they had to stand as trees, but it was good for them. They became devotees and they were blessed with the darshan of Lord Damodar. So like that, we have to understand curse. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got cursed. The Brahmana cursed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You will never enjoy material life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought, oh, very nice. So sometimes cursing good helps us to go to Krishna. Okay, are there any questions? Comments? Marichi Prabhu.
Of course, I heard that the Brahmanas have the power of the force. But we don't need qualified Brahmanas.
Yeah, we don't have qualified Brahmanas in the Kali Yuga. There are no real Brahmanas. That's why we don't do the yagyas. You cannot do Ashwamedha and Gavamedha yagnas. We cannot sacrifice animals in the Kali Yuga because we're not able to chant the mantras properly. So it's said, Kalo Sudra Sambhavaha, that in the Kali Yuga, everyone is Sudra or lower. There's no real Brahmanas, because to be the real Brahmana, they have to do the samskars. And people don't even know what are the samskars. They didn't even know they're supposed to do samskar before you can conceive a child. So we don't have real Brahmanas, but we can try to become something like a Brahmana by the process of initiation. Anybody can become a Brahmana. Sanatana Goswami quotes the scriptures that just like bell metal can be made into gold by the alchemical process, anybody who is properly initiated and trained by a bona fide spiritual master, then they can become a Brahmana. So you have to get initiation and you have to get trained also. Then you become the Brahmana. Get the training, you come and associate, do service in the temple, be with the devotees, be with the Brahmanas, the senior Brahmanas, and train you to cultivate the Brahmanical qualities.
What's the meaning?
Narada, one who gives Narayan. Narada, that means to give. He gives Narayan to everyone. He's giving God to everyone. That's the meaning of the name. Yes, Prabhu?
If someone initiated and then could not go to the Brahminical initiation, and then they left the world, what happened there? What happened to them then, the next life or what?
Well, what happens to someone not initiated, and what happens to them in the next life? Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam chajite anti kalevaram. Whatever we remember at the end of life, then we'll go to that situation in the next life. So it's not just only that because we're initiated. So it's up to everyone. You have to train the mind to remember the Lord. If we want to get, but it's Bhagavad Gita also said, if you die in the mode of goodness, then you go to the higher planets. And if you die in the mode of passion, you'll come back to this place. And if you die in the mode of ignorance, you go down into the lower regions, and you may take birth even as an animal or even a plant like a tree or something. That's when you die in the mode of ignorance. Death in the mode of ignorance means maybe you're intoxicated or drunk or something like that. People die, then they'll suffer. They'll get a bad birth in the next life. But you die in the mode of goodness, then you can go to the heavenly planets and have a long life there. But antakale chamami vasmaran mukvakale varam. If you can remember the Lord at the end of life, then you go to him. So when the devotee is leaving the body, we will have other people there to chant to us. And we want to hear the holy name, and we want to be chanting the holy name ourselves. And in this way, we can have a chance to go back to Godhead, whether you're initiated or not. But certainly if you're chanting the holy name, it will help you to get a better birth in the next life.
absorb the darkness, even from day to night, the moment. How is that? That works for the people, not for the so many dharma, for the people, the actions, the simple master.
Well, the principle is that at the time when you come for initiation, you've already been preparing for initiation by strictly following the regulative principles and by engaging in devotional service. So by doing all that thing, you've nullified all of those past karmas, all of the past reactions which you're carrying. They're already taken away by the practice of devotional service. So when you come for initiation, you should be like a clean sheet, that the karma is already removed by your devotion, by your chanting, and by all your service which you've been doing. So when you come for the initiation, you don't have to give a lot of karma to the guru. You've already got rid of it by practice, devotional service. That is why you have to wait when you come to Krishna consciousness. You don't get initiation immediately. You have to wait. And you see also Sanatana Goswami is described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sanatana Goswami was going to leave to go to join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He had the Brahmanas come and they had them reading Srimad Bhagavatam to him, and they were doing yajna, and he was giving charity, all different things. He was preparing himself to become devotee, to become full-time in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. And he was getting rid of all of his reactions from his past activities by hearing the Bhagavatam from the Brahmanas, and by doing yajna, and by doing charity, and these different things. He was preparing himself. So we do it before initiation. We do all the different devotional activities. And that way, then you're ready for initiation.
Hi, Krishna Guru Maharaj. I have a question. Extending from his question just now about the last thought before reading, it depends on what we think about. What if my friends or devotees or non-devotees think about me? What if they have attachment to me? Would I be affected as well? Would I need to return because they are attached to me?
Well, it depends on you.
Now,
If someone's attached to you, who are you attached to? If you're attached to that other person, then you have to come back. But if you're not attached to them, then wherever you go, if you go back to Godhead, you can take them back to Godhead. If they're attached to you, just like you have a husband and wife. So if the husband is a strong devotee, he can take his wife back to Godhead, right? That's the system. That the chaste wife will follow her husband. The husband gives up the body, he's going back to Godhead. The wife will follow her husband. She can also go back to Godhead. Yes, Prabhu?
In the case of reverse, if the wife passed away first, if the wife left the body first.
Well, the wife left the body first. Yeah, we have to see where is she attached to? What is she attached to? Is she attached to the husband? Or is she attached to what? What is she thinking at the time of death? It will depend. If the wife is attached to her husband, the husband's still alive, then she She may have to come back into the family. She may take birth again in the family. But she may also, if she's, attached to the Lord, she can also go back to Godhead. She doesn't have to be attached to the husband. She can go herself directly back to Godhead. Hmm? So we're trying to prepare everyone. We all want to go back to Godhead. We want to have a better birth the next life. We hope. Of course, we don't want to come back because Kali Yuga is going on. Kali Yuga is very bad. Although there's some good things in the Kali Yuga, it's not very auspicious time. It's difficult for people to become good devotees because the Maya is so powerful. So we try to make this the last birth. Make this the last birth. Don't come back again. We've already had so many births. So we hope we can finish this business and go back to God. So with the help of devotees, with good association, then it's possible. Even if you cannot remember Krishna at the end of life, if throughout your life you've dedicated your life to the service of Krishna, then somehow you may die untimely and you were not able to remember Krishna at the end of life. Krishna will not forget you. And he will take you back to Godhead. Okay, Hare Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.